Tecmo Super Bowl. Released in December 1991, it's actually still regarded as one of the best football games of all time, and with great reason. Tecmo Super Bowl is the first officially licensed NFL game to ever come out, featuring all 28 teams in the 1991 season, real teams, real players. You could play a full season, you could keep track of your stats, you could go on to win the Super Bowl, you can control multiple teams, you could play against your friends. This game was amazing, and it is still fun to play today. The dynamics, the gameplay, it's just a good time to sit down and play with your buddies. In fact, it's so much fun that some good folks over at tecmobowl.org have been kind enough to release an updated version of this game since 2013, all the way up through 2018 and still going. And today we're going to explore that. Backing out of Tecmo Super Bowl, you can see I have the 2018 version of the game downloaded and installed. So let's jump in and take a look at that. Cut. And I'm just going to let this one play because I can't tell you how much fun it is to see all this stuff updated with the current players, current rosters. Check it out. Still puts a smile on my face every time I watch this. So I'm going to jump in and show you guys what this is about. Then I'm going to show you where to download it, and I'm going to show you some other cool stuff on the website as well. So let's just jump in to give you guys a quick look. You can see you have all the divisions, you have all the teams, updated colors, and I did Eagles Pats before because that was who was in the Super Bowl this year, and I want to go ahead and show you what that looks like. So you can see the Eagles have a darker green now, and of course the Patriots have their now blue and silver uniforms. Now the colors and the players, that's really just the tip of the iceberg with this. There's so many new features that they added. You can change the quarter length. The schedules for the season are totally up to date. You can actually go ahead and update your playbook mid-game now. It's amazing. You can check your offensive and defensive players' conditions. Of course, now I'm on defense, so I can't show you the Playbook Editor, but it is very simple to use, just like you might think. But even the players' faces, the attention to detail is amazing. Like the pictures for the faces look like the actual real-life players. They really did their homework on this. So you can just imagine this is a lot of fun. Now, what I'm going to do is jump out and over to the computer and show you guys how to download this. And what's even more amazing is they made an easy to use editor so you can make your own changes. These rosters are made at the beginning of the year, and of course, as we all know, trades and injuries and things happen to the roster. So if you want to tweak it and update things, colors, playbooks, whatever, you can do that on their editor. So let's go check that out. Alright guys, so here we are over on the PC, and I want you to go ahead and just open up your web browser and go ahead and search for tecmobowl.org, and it'll come right up. Now this is an amazing site. This is all kind of like RetroPie. It's all just volunteer work. It's all guys that just love this game, and there's so much to do on here. You actually have online leagues. There's so many different things to download. I'll touch base on some of it. They even have a store. You can go ahead and buy an actual NES cart of the game. I saw another video online, someone saying that they did customize for your team as well, which I didn't really find on here, but I also didn't dive in too deep, so that's something you could definitely talk to them about. You can go ahead and set up an account totally free with them, and then you could chat on the forums, you could get involved in the leagues and whatnot. Now, obviously, the most popular thing for this site is probably the fact that they run the updated game every year. So it's right there on the homepage. It's a post by the founder of the site, and this was released, as you can see, September 2017. So let's go ahead and get this game, and just click right on the title. And just go ahead and scroll down, hit View File. And it's that simple. You can go ahead and download. Now, this is totally free to download, and it's very simple to put onto your Pi. You just go ahead and grab this file and do a transfer over Wi-Fi. You guys should know how to do that by now. I'll touch base on that in a bit. So there's more to it than that too. Now, if you just want the basic thing, you can go ahead and run with that. That's totally fine. But if you're like me, I find it to be just as much fun to go ahead and make my own adjustments and, you know, mess with the color schemes of the teams and things like that as it is to actually play the game itself. So to do that, let's go back to the main downloads tab. And if you scroll down just a bit, well, here you can see the previous years. So if that was your team that was doing really well, maybe you want to get one of those. But I want to hop over here to Editors, Tools, and MISC. And if we scroll down, there's a lot of stuff on here. There's things that aren't even just Tecmo Bowl, RBI Baseball Manager. There's just a lot of good stuff to check out. Honestly, I haven't even had time to go and explore all of these. But the one I would definitely want to check out, aside from the one I have, the one I would want to check out is the Playmaker. That seems like it'd be a lot of fun. But the main tool to edit the teams and the rosters and whatnot, you're going to want to download this Tecmo Super Bowl Tool Supreme. Again, totally free, works very well, easy to use. Works a little different than you might expect, but it's not too bad at all. So go ahead and download this too if you want to make some edits. You are going to need a program to unzip this file. I have 7-zip in my computer, and I'm just going to go ahead and extract it. It's going to be in my download folder. That's fine. Now I'm going to go into my Windows Explorer. Now you can see I downloaded a couple things here. This is the actual ROM itself in a zip file, and that's totally fine. And this is the actual editor. Look for the Niners helmet. So once you open up this tool, you're going to say, what the heck? There's nothing going on. It's blank. It's really easy to use. What you need to do is pop the Tecmo Bowl ROM into this game. So they give you a little button down here, load Tecmo Super Bowl ROM. And it's going to pop up it's going to detect ROMs depending on which folder or directory you use. So I'm right here in my downloads, so I'm going to use the one we just downloaded, the 2018 version, and I'm going to hit open. It's going to give you a warning about the file size. It's totally fine. Nothing's going to go wrong, trust me. Go ahead and hit view content. And I'm going to make this a little bigger. Now, over here, it looks a little intimidating because you might think it's like coding or something like that at first glance. It's really not. It's just very plain. You can see over here you got the Bills, you have their playbook, their formation. You can change all this stuff around, which is great. You have their players, their ratings. The one thing I'm going to tell you to do, though, if you want to mess with the colors, go ahead up to the top and click View and hit Show Colors and hit View Content again to refresh. And you'll see it just did that little shift there and added in this colors row. So anything you want to edit in this screen, you just double click it and it's going to pop up with an easy to use interface. So what the guys over here at TecmoBowl.org have done, they gave the teams 2 uniforms. They gave them an updated uniform and they kept their classic uniform, which is pretty cool. And the way that works is the classic uniforms will pop up against select matchups, and you can change that over here if you do edit uniform usage. You can see the teams with the boxes checked off. That is going to be the teams that they wear their secondary uniforms against. I want to hop down to Philadelphia. Yes, that is my team. Yes, the 215 stands for Philly. I do get asked that quite a bit. All right. So I'm going to hop down to the Eagles. Now, Granted, you got to remember you're working on a Nintendo color palette, so the sprites can only handle so many things, and there's only so many colors that were available for a Nintendo. So keep in mind when you select the pant color, it's going to be the same as the helmet. There's not a separate selector for that. So you have that, you have the jersey color and the skin color. So you kind of leverage that to create like a third color in a team's color scheme. So you can see the guys did that here. They put black for the skin color because the Eagles do have some black accents in their uniforms. Now on this editor, this looks pretty appropriate for the Eagles. In the game itself, I know it shows up a bit darker. In fact, I was actually messing with it. It's actually the same color the Jets would use in the original release. So for Nintendo, yeah, I think that's a pretty good selection, but I'm going to go with this color for the Eagles. I just think it screams Philly a little bit more to me. And what I want to do, I don't want to use the classic Kelly green that they had. I want to create something different. So I'm going to do the same pant color. And what I'm going to do is give them their alternate black jersey. A lot of shades of black in here. So I think that looks pretty cool myself. And I'm going to go ahead and change the usage. Yeah, I want them to wear that against the Giants especially. I'm actually going to leave it the way it is. But you can go ahead and mess with this as much as you like. And then these are the pictures from when you win the division title and then the championship title. You can go ahead and edit all these colors too. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I think you get the point by now, but it's pretty cool to just have the ability to mess with all this stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. Now let's say, shift it down on me. Let's just say we want to edit a player's rating. So Carson Wentz had a good rookie year, and that's all they had to go off of with this. And keep in mind, these ratings are not going to be like what Madden is. Like the guy doesn't have to be rated in 87 in a category to be like above average. You know, it's a little more sensitive than that. But I think Carson Wentz deserves some better ratings after the MVP track he was on before he got hurt this year. So if you want to look what all these are, it may say it in one of these files somewhere, but what I ended up doing was just having the game going, and then I went into team data, and then you could go ahead and see the specific player ratings, and instead of just acronym form, it actually says the whole thing. But I believe this is accuracy, so I'm going to crank this up to a 56 for Carson. Avoid pass block. You know, whatever you want to change. You can even edit their faces. It's pretty amazing. You can change their numbers, whatever you want to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit OK. But you can edit this whole thing and just go to town on it. I'm going to change one thing about the Giants. It did kind of look cool back in the day, but I never understood why they had black in their uniforms. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm going to match the blue that they have in their updated uniform. And I'm going to give them a gray jersey. Actually, I could even give them, don't they wear like an alternate red? I'm pretty sure I've seen them lose an alternate red. I guess that would be as close. Yeah, I guess that's not too bad. But this skin tone, it's got to change. Yeah, that looks weird. We'll just go with something like that. All right, that's too red. I guess I would have to go black to contrast the uniform, so we'll go with something like that. But you guys get the idea, I think, by now. So when you're done, you can either save it and create a new file, a new ROM, and not overwrite the original, or you can apply it to the ROM that you actually loaded up at the beginning, which is what I'm going to do right here. So I'm going to go ahead and select that and hit save. It already exists. Do you want to replace it? Yes, I do. All right. So now, like I was mentioning before, to put the ROM onto your RetroPie, very simple to do. I'm going to close out of the editor, and I'm going to open up just a second Windows Explorer and snap these guys to the sides. And I'm going to go ahead and find my RetroPie on my network. It does have to be hooked up online through Wi-Fi or Ethernet. It's fine. Go into my ROMs folder and just scroll down to NES, and I'm just going to take my ROM and drag and drop it in here. The screen shifted over on me, and I'm going to replace the one I had. That was the one I was just showing you guys a minute ago. Copy and replace. All right, so let's hop back onto the Raspberry Pi one more time, just so you can see how quick the updates apply. All right, so we are back on the Pi. We're in Emulation Station, and I'm gonna hop over to my Nintendo, and I'm just gonna bring up my T-lettered games. Now, if your Pi was running the whole time, you are gonna have to restart Emulation Station to get the game to show up. I actually have done that already. Now, one quick thing I do want to tell you guys, when you go ahead and scrape the game, there is artwork, as you can see. But it's not going to pick up the correct one right away, so you are just going to have to, when you go to edit the metadata, unless you just change the name before you put it onto your system itself, when you scrape, you can see it says Tecmo 28. It's not going to register that that's the new one. I think it registers either the original Tecmo Bowl or the Tecmo Super Bowl ROM, but you can see no games found. Just manually input. Get rid of the Rev 0. Just type in Tecmo Bowl and you'll get a whole list of all the Tecmos that they've come out with. So just a quick pointer there. But let's jump into the game and scope out the changes we made. All right, this time I'm going to do Eagles-Giants because I think the Giants should wear that alternate uniform I made in there as well. Could be wrong. Yep. So you can see that the Eagles got their black, the Giants got their red. Eagles have that updated green I gave them. I think that looks a lot better on the actual game. You know, going by the editor, I like the green that they picked, but it just doesn't show up the same way when you launch the game. And no, it's not my screen color. I don't know exactly why that is, but it does show up a bit darker. But anyway, so you can see here I got Wentz and I got nowhere to throw. But guys, I think you get it. It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend you go over and check out tecmobowl.org. Everybody over there is very nice. The mods, the founder, good guys over there, very welcoming. Go ahead and check it out. It's a great time. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you guys liked the video. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up if you did. And please remember to hit that subscribe button. I got a lot more coming down the pipeline. Again, thank you for watching, and thanks for the support.